Welcome to Catholic Views. I'm your host, Renee Kranz. On today's show, we will have Deacon Tim Dickus and his wife, Julie, in the studio, and we are going to talk about life of a deacon, being a deacon's wife. They have a really interesting story, and they're really just a sweet couple, so I hope you'll stay with us for that. First, we have Dr. Chris Bergwald in for a little Biblical Bites with Dr. B. I'm going to not sing it this time.
You're not going to sing it this time?
No.
But speaking of singing?
Singing?
The way you said Deacon Tim Dickus and his wife, Julie. What is it?
I'm thinking...
Jetsons.
Yes,
Meet
Jetsons.
George Jetson, his wife, Judy. Anyway.
It's Judy, though.
But I know. But Julie, that's what it reminded me of.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, we're
Thanks
old
for
enough
that.
to remember. Or
Is that the only question I'm going to
Too
get right
young.
today, too?
And I gave it to you, so you didn't.
Yeah, thanks.
I didn't make it. So, today's gospel, Renee. You were going to study ahead.
And I did
You
not.
should've.
I never do.
You
And I thought
should've.
last week was such a train wreck. I should maybe study up. And then
Last
I
week was a
didn't anyway.
disaster.
It was.
Go back and rewatch last week's Biblical Bites,
Yes.
folks.
I was
it's
a
pretty
disaster.
spot on. Bill didn't help you out either.
No.
Bill normally can. He's your phone a friend, and
He was not my friend.
Today's not going to be any better.
Okay.
Sorry.
He also
So,
did not study up.
do you remember? Do you remember where Jesus moved to, sort of his home base of operations when he was beginning his public ministry in Galilee? Do you? I know. Oh, come on, reach for it. It's there. You can do it.
I know it's not Nazareth.
No, correct. He moves from Nazareth. Like he does a little bit, but he relocates.
Jerusalem? No.
No, in Galilee.
Bill?
Dunno.
Capernaum.
Oh,
Of course.
I didn't know he relocated.
So basically,
there.
yeah. So this is how Mark's gospel begins. This is still chapter 1 of Mark's gospel because Mark just hits the ground running. Then they came. So Jesus and some of his disciples. Excuse me. Then they came to Capernaum, and on the Sabbath, Jesus entered the synagogue and taught. People are astonished at his teaching. There's a man with unclean spirit. He does an exorcism. What is this new teaching with authority? He commands even the unclean spirits, and they obey him. And his fame spread everywhere throughout the whole region of Galilee, is how it closes then. So, yeah, he relocated, if you will, made Capernaum the hub of operations.
Okay.
So for a variety of reasons. One, he, in so doing, he's fulfilling sort of a prophecy that was in Isaiah, because Galilee in the north, this had been overrun during the life of the prophet Isaiah around the 7th, 8th century BC-ish by the Assyrians. We talked about the Assyrians last week. Do you remember why? Because their capital city, the capital of Assyria was...
Nineveh.
Yes. Redemption.
I learned something from last week.
So the Assyrians had basically come in and conquered this area, brought in Gentiles. So it's called Galilee of the Gentiles.
Okay.
There's still Jews living there, but it's kind of a dark. Yes.
Was Nazareth in Galilee?
Nazareth is also in Galilee.
Okay.
But Capernaum is more identified. So there's the land of Zebulun and Naphtali, two of the tribes of Israel.
Okay.
I don't remember which. I think Zebulun was more of where Nazareth is. What geographers, archaeologists call Lower Galilee. Capernaum is right on the Sea of Galilee, and it's in Upper Galilee and the land of Naphtali. So there's fulfillment of sort of a prophecy in Isaiah that a light will come to the gloom and doom, if you will, right? So, as I just said, Capernaum is on the Sea of Galilee. It's on the northwest corner of it's a sea town on the northwest corner of the Sea of Galilee. Why might that be important, do you think?
Because that's where he picked up all his fishermen.
The fishermen. It's where he picked up his fishermen. Hey, you guys. Yeah, his first when he chooses the disciple, not just as they met him and encountered him, but when he calls them, "Come follow me," he's walking along the shores of the Sea of Galilee. So it's in and around Capernaum. Capernaum's where Peter, Simon, and Andrew are from.
Okay.
James and John maybe as well, right?
Okay.
So here's the thing, though, that just going a little bit deeper. The other benefit, if you will, of moving to from Nazareth to Capernaum is it's basically like living on a town that you get to by dirt township roads.
Okay.
To a town that's right on the interstate.
Capernaum was right on the interstate.
Capernaum's right.
Okay.
Literally, there was what some scholars call the international highway. There was a highway,
Really?
if you will,
Okay.
that that's how Herod got around in his Lamborghini.
Right, right, of course.
Like from Africa to Asia to Europe, actually, there was this, and it ran right around the Sea of Galilee, right outside of Capernaum.
Okay.
So Jesus also strategically has moved from someplace like the hick town in the sticks that you can only get to in a 4-wheel truck.
Sounds like my whole hometown.
To now, he's moved to a city that's just off of the interstate,
Right.
Or on, in a sense, as we would describe it, on the interstate. What's going to happen as a result of that?
Well, he's going to come across more people.
And
He can get to other places faster.
what? So why is it
Right?
the last
agree.
verse of the gospel, the reading for today? His fame spread everywhere throughout the whole region of Galilee. So people
Oh, sure.
are like, nobody went to Nazareth. Like Nazareth, the only reason to go to Nazareth is because you need to go to Nazareth.
Right.
But just like a town along the interstate, you might stop to eat or to overnight hotel stay or to get gas, and you're pumping gas. Hey, did you hear about the guy? No, what happened? And then you go to the next town and hey, back in whatever.
Right.
That's what was happening as Jesus begins to do his thing
Okay.
in Capernaum. Because they're right on literally a highway, whatever that looked like at the time. It wasn't concrete, right?
No. Well, it might have had potholes, but
right. But word starts to travel about it because Jesus, he does preach to the crowds, but crowds, we're talking about a few thousand
Right.
people. And yet somehow when you read the Gospels, within a short period of time, everybody's heard about Jesus of Nazareth. Why? How?
Yeah.
Because he moved his headquarters to a place where everybody starts to hear about him and word spreads from there. So the good news of Jesus starts to travel from Capernaum.
yeah, makes sense. Thanks, Dr. B.
You bet.